Hi, it's Tom Panos here from the Real Estate Gym. I want to let you know that for the last 33 years, I've been working in the real estate industry, and for the last 2 decades, I've actually been training and educating real estate agents on how to become very successful in sales. Those of you that are watching this in New Zealand on behalf of the REINZ may have come across me and understand that I believe that the psychology part of real estate is as important as the technical side of real estate. And the reason I say it is that in real estate, you are going to go from the heights of exhilaration to the depths of depression in 24 hours. Over the next half hour or so, my intention is to run you through some of the strategies, hacks, and tactics that I've used with my clients and I've used with my own self when I've been faced with adversity. In that beautiful scene where Mike Tyson gets interviewed at the end of a fight by a media commentator, he gets asked, Mike. So the backstory here is that Mike Tyson had just been knocked out in a fight that he was supposed to win. And the interviewer from the TV channel says, Mike, what happened today? You were supposed to win this fight. You were well prepared. You'd actually planned. And Mike Tyson just looked up and said, what? And he goes, what happened today, Mike? You should have won. But what actually happened? What was your plan? And Mike Tyson looked at him and said, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. And guys and girls, welcome to real estate. I am letting you know it is an emotional roller coaster ride. And I am going to start off saying, if at the moment you have got a serious mental health issue and you are struggling to the point where it is affecting your everyday life, everyday work, and it's getting in the way of you being able to essentially just do the basics as a person, let me just say, you might need to go off and get some professional help. I have seen it in the clients I've worked with. An intervention by a proper mental health professional, someone who's been trained, might actually be the difference that you need to get you back into momentum again. However, let me run through what I believe are some of the things that can have a profound impact that you can incorporate into your daily life. The first thing I'll say is, in a time of chaos, like we've recently had, where, you can cross it off your bucket list. You've gone through a pandemic, right? And it has been chaos because on the one hand in life we have order, and on the other hand we have chaos. And we've had chaos in New Zealand where you went into a really fast level 4 lockdown. It meant that your life changed pretty much overnight. As you're watching this video, this now appears to be in a lot better situation than what we were anticipating, which was that most of the year 2020 was going to be written off as the year that we protected our health and our fellow citizens' health by going into a very strong lockdown. New Zealand has been outstanding, and as we shoot this video here, right now, you have 0 infections, so well done to you and your government. But I've got to say to you that daily exercise for a real estate professional is mandatory. If you could get exercise, put it in a bottle and sell it, pharmaceutical companies would make millions. And the reason why is, apart from the health benefits such as weight loss and good cardiovascular health with exercise, we clearly know that when you do daily exercise, what you're doing is creating some chemical reaction in your body that seems to take the edge off any stress, any anxiety you're having. And it allows you to actually reset yourself in a way where things are bearable and copable. So my strategy number 1 for anyone who wants to have a healthier psychological life in real estate is daily exercise. It's very good for your wellness as a real estate agent. Number 2, I want you to narrow your focus. You see, one of the problems that we have as human beings is we are terrible at estimating the future. We seem to have a view that one that is to protect us, which is one that presumes that there could be something negative out there. Where in the fight or flight response quite often while we're in real estate. And all I'll say to you is if you are going through a challenging time, and trust me, it's coming from someone that has walked the path of stress and anxiety and despair. I've had cancer 3 times in my own life, and I've lost a young sibling only a few years ago, and who I was very close to. And I can pretty much tell you one of the strategies that helped me and helps my clients in times of stress is to narrow your time focus. And don't worry too much about fast forwarding 2 or 3 or 4 months in the future, because you may catastrophize. All you want to do is each day look at what's good in the day I have today. Look for glimpses of positivity. Look for things that you're grateful for. It might be the simple fact that, hey, you can turn a tap on and drink clean water from your home, which in some countries you can't. It might be the fact that you had someone that was super nice to you that day, and just meditate on that for a moment. It might be that you actually had a win. It might have been you had a price alignment, or you put a sale together, or you won a listing against 3 other agents, or you simply had incredible engagement in a property that you just launched. Look for any small glimpses of positivity by narrowing your focus and saying, what good happened today? And a really powerful technique is at the end of the day, as part of your evening ritual, is that you sit back and ask yourself, what are 3 great things that happened in my work day today? That's going to shape your mind to look at having an attitude of gratitude. The next thing I'll say is learn to reduce your media consumption. You see, most of the news that you're going to watch on television or listen to on the radio or read in the newspaper or just on your mobile phone while you're consuming content is going to be that of a negative nature. Why? Because negative sells. You're always going to hear about the one plane that didn't land properly, not the 75,000 planes that landed properly that day. So I would say to you is that, hey, I'm not saying be ignorant. You want to find out the basics. You want to be able to be sitting in front of a client and have read the financial press so you can come across as a trusted advisor. But there really is no need for you to check on the news every hour, because it's very easy to fall into the trap that what's going to happen is that you're going to start getting a negative view of the world. It's really simple. Input, output. What goes in comes back out. You put in positive stuff, you put positive out. You put in negative stuff, you put negative out. The next thing is meditation. Meditation, or some people that have got a very strong religious faith or spiritual dimension to them, would actually say, prayer would actually serve this purpose. For other people, they love the concept of meditating, the ability to actually press the pause button to your monkey mind that is racing all the time, and allocating a simple 20-minute period per day where you simply pause and slow the chatter and become a witness to your thoughts, will become extremely effective in allowing you to manage and handle stress a lot better. Meditation now is freely available to be learnt through the various apps that are available for you to do your own meditating. Other people actually choose to go off and get a professional teacher or incorporate it as part of yoga, right? Which the yoga part of an exercise is the stretching and the various moves. And then the final part of yoga is the state of meditation. But all I can say to you is that, hey, if you've got daily exercise, if you're narrowing your focus, if you're finding out that you're reducing your media consumption and then you add meditation to it, you're actually reducing the stress and anxiety levels. Hence, you're improving your mental health. I want to remind you, success is an inside job. No one's going to come to the rescue. You've got to start working on yourself, for yourself, by yourself. Which brings me to the next point, and that is sleep. Sleep for me is your super weapon in a world of chaos in real estate. Let's face it, you're going to get rejected today in real estate. You're going to get let down. You're going to lose. You're going to fail. But what you need to do is ensure that your body is capable to take these psychological blows. Because if you're a winner in our industry, I'm letting you know you're going to get a lot of no's and setbacks along the way. In fact, I'll say to you that failure and rejection is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. If you want to succeed, my advice to you is to learn the art of fail faster. You've got to make rejection your best friend. But it also means that from a physical point of view, you've got to be equipped to be able to handle these setbacks and the negative criticism. And let's face it, you're going to ring someone up who's going to say, hey, I'm not interested in talking to a real estate agent now, and hang up on you. I'm letting you know that sleep is your super weapon. It's going to allow you to cop more blows than anyone else in the marketplace because your body has rejuvenated and rested in the evening. In fact, there is enough research out there to say that if you aren't getting a minimum of 7 hours of sleep, you are actually causing physical harm to your body as its cells are not rejuvenating during the sleep cycle. I'll move on to the next thing, and that is if you want to reduce stress and anxiety and have far better mental health in real estate, I would love to introduce you to the concept of routine. And listen to me carefully. Routine will set you free. What creates chaos in a real estate agent's life is the lack of systems. What creates chaos in a real estate agent's life is chaos. What creates real estate chaos in someone's life is no process. I'm letting you know, process trumps motivation any day of the week. Whenever I see an agent that's stretched, whenever I see an agent that has no margin, whenever I see an agent that's biting their fingernails, whenever I see an agent that is fidgety and is moving their leg, whenever I see a real estate agent that seems to be constantly rushing here, rushing there, always striving, but never seem to be arriving, you know what I notice? They have lack of systems and routines. Every part of your real estate business needs to have checklists. You see, if you've got to do anything more than once, it means it's repeatable. Create a system. And I'm letting you know, you need a routine for your pre-list. You need a routine for your listing presentation. You need a routine for after you've signed it up, what happens. Routine is just patterns of operating. I mean, the fact that you went to work today most likely was a system. You took the same road to get to work. You didn't deviate. We are system beings. And I'm letting you know, you want to change your life, you change your systems and you do little micro habits. And I'm going to give you a word of advice. Don't overestimate the change that you can actually achieve in 2 months, right? And I'm letting you know right now, change happens gradually, then suddenly. And I think a lot of people overestimate the change that they can actually make, right? And let me just say to you, right here, right now, if you're watching this, allow in your life to start seeing results after around 6 months. If you're going to keep score, if you're going to keep score and measure score every day, you're going to end up becoming a little bit myopic with your time frame, and you're going to start saying to yourself, hey, this ain't working. I'm letting you know, play the long game. Success for me, guys and girls, is about you understanding it's not where you are now, it's where you're heading. And if you are going through a difficult time right now, listen to me carefully as someone that has walked your path. Difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. Eventually, all storms come to an end. Your current situation will not be your final destination. So remember, what's coming is better than what's gone. I'm going to move you into our next slide, or our next point, which is solution focus. Solution focus is about ensuring that you don't, let's face it, a wound won't heal if you keep picking on it. Think about that. A wound won't heal if you keep picking on it. And I'm letting you know that when people have got a challenge or problem, often they actually make it deeper by picking on it. And I'm letting you know that's what occurs when you spend 80% of your time focusing on the problem and not focusing on the solution. And one of the things that I do in my own life or when I'm coaching clients is ensure that I shift the thinking from problem focus to solution focus. Right now, if you have a problem, ask yourself, are you participating in the problem or participating in the solution? Because listen to me here, what got you here won't get you there. It's a different level of thinking. It needs a shift. If the problem is very severe, as I said at the start of this video, I would encourage you to actually seek a mental health professional. But if it's something that just comes and goes, I'm going to encourage you to actually learn the art of becoming your own life coach, getting your own insights and understanding, that there are certain triggers that sort of send you down a path of catastrophizing. And one of the best pieces of advice I'm going to give you is there's something that you do that's not good for you and you've got control of that, then stop doing it. Think about it. That simple move is a game changer for many people. I'm going to repeat it. If there's something that you do that psychologically does not serve you well, then if you've got control of doing that thing, hey, choose not to do it. Choose not to do it. Let's move on to my next slide. And that is consuming positive content. For me, I want to let you know that the hand that picks up a book is never the same hand again. I want you to understand this concept. This book here, or this book here, right? I've just picked up 2 books. After I've read this book, do you understand that my knowledge on the subject here, this is a book on brand new. This is interesting. This is a book on Black Belt of the Mind by Dr. Fred Gross, which is in line with the topic that we're talking about. What's my point? When you consume positive content, you're actually expanding your brain. You're actually taking it to another level, to a level that it doesn't go back to its original state. So for me, it's a non-negotiable that what I want you to be doing is ensuring that you're either spending an hour a day in reading a book. You're either listening to an audible book, which some people are better listeners than readers. You're listening to a podcast like right now. Let's be very clear. We're in a world of podcasting. The amount of information that is available for you to consume on skills, attitude, personal development is like no era ever before. You now have the ability to consume training on YouTube. Every topic. You want to learn how to sew, you go to YouTube. You want to learn how to cook, you go to YouTube. You want to go off and learn how to have the best time management, just put it into YouTube, right? There is content out there. My own real estate program, which is the Real Estate Gym, if you haven't seen it, go in there. This is basically the Netflix of real estate. And all I've got to say to you guys and girls is this, that fundamentally at the end of the day, if you're sort of reading positive material most days, if you're spending time every day listening to podcasts, going on a YouTube, the fact that REINZ has got a lot of training content that is available for you to actually access and to improve yourself, you're going to find that this slow 1% each day of positive information adds up. Think about it. 1% a day at the end of the year is 365%. Don't underestimate the change that you can have in your life in the next 12 months. And I'm letting you know that for me, podcasting and YouTube and Google are an incredible, easy source of content and information to help me have a much better life. Which is going to bring me on to the next topic. And that is, I want to let you know that you're pretty much the result of the 5 people closest to you in your life. You've got to ensure that you surround yourself with not people that beat you up, but people that build you up. You want to make sure that the people around you are cheerleaders, not crushers. And I'm going to let you know, you have to ensure that you don't have people that are sucking the energy out of you. So my advice to you is seek out people that are already successful, that are living lives that you aspire to, and time travel to say, what do I have to do to act and behave and get the results that this person's doing? And can I make a suggestion? Allocate for the next 12 months 1 lunch or dinner per month to take out a person that you aspire to, that's positive, that's a nice, compassionate person, and say, listen, I'd love to spend an hour taking you out for a meal because I have total admiration and respect for you. And there are 3 questions that I'd love you to help me with. I've researched you on social media and I can't seem to find those answers there. And 1 hour of your time would be everything to me. You'll be surprised at how nice some of the best real estate people in New Zealand are. Often, the conversation that I just spoken about with should be had with your business owner. I think a lot of owners of real estate offices are often underutilized. The people that work in those offices don't actually reach out to them and open up. And I would suggest that you look at that as your first point of call. If you've exhausted that, excuse me, if you've exhausted that, then I would suggest that you go off and you look at, other people, most likely not a competitor because they won't be open with you. Most likely it will be another agent in another area. As I come towards this end of this video on mental health, resilience, wellness, I'm also going to tell you, if you don't want to slip, don't hang around slippery spots. And what I mean by that is set yourself up for success, right? Think about this for a moment. If you're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a big believer of being part of the 5 a.m. club, it's a great time to start your day. It's a time to exercise because I'm telling you straight, if you win the first hour, you win the day. If you're waking up early and you're going to a gym or you're going for a cycle with other riders or you're going for a run with a run buddy, you basically are reinforcing to yourself, that's the environment that I'm in, and you're setting yourself up for success. Alternatively, if you're leaving work each day and heading to the pub and drinking 5 or 6 beers and having a few glasses of red wine and then having a terrible diet, when you go home and eating, 3/4 of a pizza and then waking up and feeling sluggish, what you'll notice is that slowly and slowly, lack of energy and lack of clarity and tiredness, and all of a sudden, small problems become big problems. And that's one of my golden rules to keep you sane in a world of emotional roller coasters in real estate is this. You've got to understand that you've got to fix problems when they're small. I'm going to repeat that again. Fix problems when they're small. Because if you don't fix problems when they're small, they can grow so big that they're not fixable. Example, stage 1 cancer is better than stage 4. Example, an unhappy vendor in week 1 addressed is going to be a lot better than having a vendor start getting upset over the next 4 weeks. Nip things in the bud, because I'm telling you that effective people that are happy and healthy people, what they do is that they address issues and they have crucial conversations early in the piece when things are fixable. As I come towards this end of this video for REINZ on the topic of health, wellness, and how to actually keep your life together whilst you're building an incredible career in this profession of real estate, which I've got to say to you, I have a total attitude of gratitude. It's one of the few jobs in the world that allow you to work outdoors, meet different people. You don't necessarily have to have gone to university, and you can make a great living and impact lives for the better significantly. But I am going to tell you that it is going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. And one of the most important things that you can be doing as a real estate professional in your great country in New Zealand is to factor in that things are going to be hard, and to factor in that they're going to be bumpy. And I'm going to remind you that difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. And I'm also going to remind you that what you want to do is to anticipate that you are going to have these highs and lows. And why I say that? Because if you factor that in, you won't be disappointed when it happens. It is, in fact, the price you pay for greatness in real estate. I'll say it again. A significant income and a brilliant life in real estate is the rewards for being able to handle stress and anxiety. And it is like a muscle. The more you're able to endure it, the stronger and more resilient that you can become. For me, COVID-19 was a gift. It was a gift that was badly wrapped. Why? Because it taught us that, in fact, we live in a great part of the world. I'm in Australia, you're in New Zealand. We're in a great part of the world. We generally don't have bombs going over the top of our heads. We've got the luxury of, a decent standard of living, and as I said earlier on, fresh water. We also have this incredible possibility in real estate. Did you notice the word I used? Possibility, not probability. Probability says that you may leave real estate after a few years because you find it challenging, because we know that the failure rate is high in real estate. Of course it is. It's got a low barrier to entry. Anyone can pretty much do it. But I am telling you that what I focus on is possibility. What's possible? And I'm letting you know that if you want to have a long-term, sustainable, healthy life in real estate that isn't sustained with burnout, if you carry out a lot of the things that I spoke about in this video, all I'll say to you is that slowly you will start compounding your success. People will start noticing you. Business will start coming in by referral, and the hustle and the chase and All that grind work will slowly slow down as you start building an attraction business. Because when you build a brand in New Zealand that you become a rock star in a marketplace, you'll understand the concept. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. This has been Tom Panos for the REINZ, delivering a module on mental health and how to become a black belt of the mind in real estate. I hope you found it useful, but more importantly, I hope you do something about it. Signing off, Tom Panos from the Real Estate Gym.